Hi, this is Tom, and in this lesson we are going to learn about what's called compound interest. And I got that title, got that up here. We're going to learn about compound interest. And I have a problem already written for us, and it says this: invest $100 at an annual interest rate of 10% for 3 years. How much money at the end of 3 years? Question mark. Well, let's see how this works. Let me explain how interest works. If you make an investment. So you take and you put your $100 in the bank and you leave it there. So this would be like January 1st. And you leave it there all the way through the year until December 31st. You're going to receive an additional 10% of your money. So remember, to find 10%, you take your initial amount, and to find a percent of something, you multiply it by that percentage, 10%. And so remember that a percent is also a decimal, so really this is $100 plus $100 times 0.1 or 0.10, either is fine. So now this is $100 plus $10. And I forgot to mention, if you may need a calculator for this lesson, so if you find that the arithmetic goes fast, just pause the video and then pull out a calculator and just double check some of these calculations. So $100 plus $10, so at the end of the year, you now have $110. Okay, so this is end of year 1. Okay. Now, remember, look at what happens here. We begin year 2, so now we're into year 2, but we haven't touched the money. So there's now $110 in the account. And I'm going to leave it again all the way through the year to December 1st. And at the end of the year, they're going to pay me 10% of my $110. So, oops, I should write this to be consistent. So we'll write this as 10%. So this is equal to $110 plus $110 times 0.1 or 0.10. So this is going to be $110 plus $11 to end our year with $121. This is the end of year 2. Okay. Now we have one more year. So this is I should write up here, this is the beginning. So this is year 1. Begin. So now when we start year 3, let's take a look at what happens. Again, we haven't touched the money. So we begin year 3 with the end of year 2. So this is $121. And we're going to leave the money in the account for the entire year, again, all the way through till December 31st. And on that last day of the year, you're going to be paid 10% of the amount that's in the account. Well, that's now $121. So now you're going to be you're going to end your total account balance. You'll have $121 plus we're going to take 10%, so times 0.10 of the 121. So let's see, that is $121 plus 10% of 121, that's $12.10. So at the end of year 3, in your account, you have $133.10, and this is end of year 3. Now, I want to take a look at this middle section here. So I want to look at, for each one of these, let's take a look at just this part of our whole equation. I'm gonna leave myself some space to write. Because look at this. I'm going to do this in a different color. We'll do back to blue. Notice that I can factor this problem. This first line, I have a common factor of $100, and it factors into 1 plus 0.10. In the next line, I have a common factor of $110. So it also factors to 1 plus 0.10. And in the third line, I have a common factor of $121. So it factors into 1 plus 0.10. Look at that. They all have the same factor in each line of the 1 plus the 0.10. So we're going to use this so that we can see the formula for compound interest. So let's start this. Notice that we ended with $133.10. And I'm not going to write the dollar sign because we know this. It's just the numbers that we're looking for. Well, that equaled, oops, I just said it and then I wrote it, equals 121 times 1 plus 0.10. But wait a minute. The 121, let's look closely. Look at this. The 121 came from this. So I'm going to substitute all of this piece, 110 times 1 plus 0.10, in for the 121. So this becomes 110 times 1 plus 0.10. And then we have this needs to be tacked on again, 1 plus 0.10. Now, notice, oh, look at this. Here's the 110 right here, and that can be written this way as well. So let's substitute that in. So this becomes 100 times 1 plus 0.10 times 1 plus 0.10 times 1 plus 0.10. Well, look at this. This is repeated multiplication of the exact same thing. So we can write this even tighter as 100 times 1 plus 0.10 raised to the third power. We're going to stop right there, and then we're going to look at what happens when you compound this more than once a year. That's the idea of compound interest. Thanks for watching.